What's up, everybody? We're back for another video. I do want to say sorry in advance. What I'm about to show you, I did film, but it was just bad, so I just didn't do anything about it. But I'll talk about that, and then we'll get into what the video today is. So last weekend, I did all of my brake calipers and changed all the pads, changed the rotors, all that stuff. But in doing so, I kind of confirmed my theory that all of these bushings and ball joints and whatnot were all pretty toasty. So I went back and forth with myself, wondering if I should just replace everything OEM, have a shop push in the bushings for me, or just buy a full replacement kit. I didn't know if they even made a full replacement kit, but come to find out, TRQ brand actually does make one. I'm actually running their rotors right now. So again, I wanted to make it easier on myself. So these are like the lower control arms for the front. I don't even know what that lollipop piece is called, but I have new ball joints for the lower. I did the tie rod outer, but not the inner. And then also these little sway bar inlets. But on top of that, I've been trying to get together pieces. So what I have here is Megan Rayson's upper control arm for the front. I figured while I was in there, I might as well replace it. I also have their toe arms for the rear, but I need to get the upper rear ordered, and I may do the lower too, but I haven't decided yet. And I need coils. It looks like all my front suspension is pretty shot, and the rear. So I wanted to say I did have a fucking horrible time doing these rotors the other day. Every bolt was seized. So I did buy a smaller impact. Hopefully this one will help me get the job done quicker, because I was sitting there fighting with my buddy Seth, trying to get the shit off, and I couldn't get my big impact there. So I'm gonna set y'all up, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. It's enough talking out of me, but I will say I do not expect this to be easy, but hey, you know, nothing ever is whenever it's worth it. So all right, guys, so immediately into beginning filming, I ran into problems as I figured I would. So this is completely fucked, so I had to get vice grips, put it on there to be able to get the nut off of this one. Everything else has been coming out generally pretty easy. These ball joints are definitely not going to come out by me hitting them with a hammer. So I'm gonna have to go run to Harbor Freight and get a pry bar and get a ball joint remover. But other than that, it really hasn't been too bad. That little tiny impact I bought has made it a lot easier. I'm not running into the problem of not being able to fit it, so I'm not having to pry on as much stuff as I was. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit everything that I have left with a little bit more of this PB blaster, and I will run to the store to go grab that real quick, and I will be back. All right, so I went to the store, bought a ball joint separator. If you've never seen how they work, this one in particular, you slide it in between, you tighten this bolt, it pushes this down, pushes it out. I need to figure out what size this is real quick, and then I'll show you how it works. And I wanted to say this little DeWalt thing has been saving my life tonight. So go ahead, start zipping it on. There you go, ball joint out. Now one problem is it won't fit on there, but I am replacing this whole section anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I can just pull it out as is, but I will have to release it from the coilover to drop it the rest of the way down. And I do need to get this unstuck, and that should really be about it. It'll be just pulling everything off and putting it back on in order, but I want to do it in a way to where I don't forget where everything goes. So I'm going to start working on that. All right, so I switched the bracket over from the old one to the new one. As you can see, this was pretty shot. This ball joint here, hold on, it was pretty shot as well. So I have all the new stuff for it. I'll start by putting this back in first because this will be the first thing that everything else will connect to. But I also need to get this little lollipop deal out, and then we can go from there. All right, so comparison number 2, the new one versus this. I can literally move it with my hand. You can see that it's all ripped up and missing pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and stab that back on there. I had to lower this little plate in order to do so, but once I get that back in there, I'll go ahead and throw this arm in so I can get it connected, get the coilover back on, and we will continue assembling from there. All right guys, so here's an update. Got everything in. I didn't tighten this lower arm yet. I'm having a hard time getting this outer tie rod off, but I need to get that off so I can put the new one on, obviously. And once I put that on, I can put this lower ball joint on. And after I finish that, all this will be back hanging. I can undo this bolt because I got this just hanging there for right now. I'll have to drop this coil over to get to these, which I could probably do without, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to do all this shit with one hand right now, and it's kind of hard. I will say a lot of the stuff is fitting up very nicely, and I mean, it's exactly comparable to OEM. A lot of people will probably be mad that I did the non-OEM ball joints, but either way, mine was blown and it came in this kit anyway. So the way I look at it is still better than what I had. But yeah, I'll probably continue to keep doing it like this and just working on it and keeping y'all updated, because I am having a really hard time trying to get some of these bolts loose and stuff. So I will catch back up with y'all in a second and we will see where we're at. All right, so after using literally every ounce of strength that I have, I got the old one off. As you can see, this shit got all beat up because, where's it at? This thing blown to shit, rusted on. It was horrible. I really should have just took the time and done the inside too, but I didn't have the tool. But so what I'm gonna do now is get this lower ball joint on, get all this back connected up, and then like I said, from there I'll go ahead and disconnect that, leave it hanging, probably drop the coil. That way I can get these uppers in, which is the thing I'm most excited about. But before I do all that, I'm gonna have to tighten all this down. All right, so I had a few setbacks, but I got everything out. Coilover is out, so I will go ahead and pull this out to put the new one in. Yeah, this has not been fun. Hopefully I didn't fuck anything up, but I got everything back in, all the brand new stuff. Everything should be tightened down now, which has made it a lot harder to move everything, but yeah, so this is where we're at. All right, after struggling for a really long time, I got everything in. I didn't adjust any of this camber adjustment stuff because I don't know what I want to do yet. I will need to double check over this. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a little loose, but this feels a little off, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off and redo it. But obviously I'm beat. I've only done one side, so I get one day off to do shit, and I'm not about to start on this one this late at night because it took me way too fucking long. So on that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed the little bit that I got to film and whatnot. This is pretty much how my brake caliper job went too, so I'm not gonna not post this one, but yeah, this shit was rough, as you can tell. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching if you stuck around, and I'll catch you on the next one.